Time, an elusive and mysterious entity, is a dimension unlike any other. We live in it, move through it, and yet we cannot see it, touch it, or manipulate it in any way. It is the silent river that carries us forward, from the cradle to the grave. In essence, time is a dimension that governs the sequence of events. We perceive it as a forward march, a constant progression from the past, through the present and into the future. But what if I told you that time isn't experienced the same way by all entities? Consider the microscopic world of quantum particles. In this realm, time doesn't behave as we'd expect. Particles can exist in multiple states at once, and their future can affect their past. It's a mind-bending concept that challenges our everyday understanding of time. On the larger scale, Einstein's theory of relativity tells us that time is not an absolute entity, but is relative to the observer. It can stretch and squeeze, depending on the speed at which one is moving, or the strength of the gravitational field one is in. This means that time can flow at different rates for different observers. So time is not just a simple ticking clock, it's a complex and intricate dimension that is intertwined with the very fabric of our universe. As humans, we've been captivated by time since our earliest days. We've watched the sun rise and set, the seasons change, and the stars wheel overhead. These cycles gave us our first concept of time, but how did we get from there to our modern system of hours, minutes, and seconds? Our understanding and measurement of time have evolved drastically over the centuries, shaped by our scientific discoveries and technological advancements. But one thing remains constant. Time, in its ceaseless march, continues to be a concept that both baffles and fascinates us. So let's delve into the origins of how we, as a species, started to measure this elusive concept. The story of time measurement begins with ancient civilizations. Our ancestors, in their wisdom and curiosity, looked to the world around them for answers. They observed the consistent patterns of day and night, the unending dance of shadows, the ebb and flow of tides, and the waxing and waning of the moon. They began to measure time by these natural occurrences, the most primal of which was the rising and setting of the sun. This celestial ballet sparked the invention of the sundial, a device that used the position of the sun to cast shadows and mark the passage of hours. Sundials were the earliest known form of timekeeping, used by civilizations across the globe from ancient Egypt to Greece and beyond. But the sundial had its limitations. It was useless on cloudy days and completely irrelevant at night. To overcome these limitations, inventive minds turned to another resource: water. Ancient civilizations, such as the Egyptians, used water clocks or clepsydras. These ingenious devices measured time by the regulated flow of liquid into or out of a vessel. As the water level rose or fell, markings on the inside of the vessel indicated the passing hours. But the tracking of time didn't stop at the daily cycle. Ancient peoples also recognized the significance of the lunar and solar cycles. The phases of the moon provided a way to count the days beyond the setting sun, leading to the creation of months. The solar cycle, too, was crucial. The changing seasons, the shifting constellations, these cosmic dances led to the concept of a year. These observations and inventions were more than mere timekeeping tools. They were symbols of civilization's growth, of humanity's innate desire to understand, to quantify, to bring order to the world. From these natural cycles and phenomena, humans distilled the concept of time. But this raises another question, one that has puzzled thinkers for centuries. From the natural cycles around us, humans distilled the concept of time, but why 24 hours? Why not less or more? The division of the day into 24 hours, as it turns out, has a fascinating history. Our journey takes us back to ancient Egypt, a civilization known for its architectural marvels, and, as it turns out, its significant contribution to our understanding of time. The Egyptians had a duodecimal numeral system, that is, a system based on the number 12. They divided the day-night cycle into two halves, each comprising 12 hours. This division was quite logical for them as they observed the sky and counted 12 distinct lunar cycles over the year. This observation was extrapolated to the division of the day-night cycle. But the story doesn't end here. This system had to be adopted by others for it to become a universal concept. As trade and knowledge exchange flourished, the idea of a 24-hour day spread to other civilizations. The Greeks, Romans, and Persians all began to adopt this division of time. The spread of this concept wasn't merely a matter of convenience or tradition. It was a testament to the ingenuity of the human mind in making sense of the world around it. The 24-hour day was a practical and logical way to organize time based on observable celestial phenomena. It's a system that has stood the test of time quite literally and is still in use today, thousands of years after it was first conceived. So the next time you glance at your watch or your phone to check the time, remember that you're participating in a tradition that stretches back to the ancient Egyptians. You're using a system that has been passed down through countless generations, across different civilizations and epochs. But what about the division of hours and minutes? Why 60? As we delve deeper into the Enigma of Time, we'll find that the story gets even more intriguing. Stay tuned as we navigate the winding roads of history and explore the fascinating origins of the minutes and seconds that make up our days. The division of an hour into 60 minutes and a minute into 60 seconds has its roots in ancient Mesopotamia. This might seem a curious choice, but let's delve deeper into the ancient world to understand it further. The Mesopotamians, a highly advanced civilization, were pioneers in the field of mathematics. They used a unique counting system known as the sexagesimal system, which is based on the number 60. This was not a random selection, but rather a deliberate choice stemming from their astronomical observations. You see, the number 60 has an abundance of divisors: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15, 20, 30, and 60. This made it highly practical for dividing time, as well as for their complex mathematical calculations. The Greeks, renowned for their philosophical and scientific prowess, adopted this system from the Mesopotamians. They recognized the practicality and efficiency of the sexagesimal system in the division of the celestial sphere, and subsequently, the division of the day. This is where the concept of the hour, divided into 60 minutes and each minute into 60 seconds, was born. Over time, this system propagated across civilizations, weaving itself into the fabric of societies, from the sun-drenched lands of the Middle East to the rain-soaked shores of the British Isles. It became the cornerstone of global time measurement, permeating every aspect of human life, from the mundane to the extraordinary. The concept of dividing time into segments, the hours, minutes, and seconds, has shaped our perception of life itself. It's a human invention, a construct that allows us to quantify the unquantifiable, to bring order to the chaos of existence. It's our attempt to grasp the fleeting moments, to make sense of the relentless march of time. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of time, we realize that the division of an hour into 60 minutes and a minute into 60 seconds is not just a mathematical convenience, but a reflection of our innate desire to understand and navigate the world around us. Time, as we perceive it, is a human invention, a tool to measure the unmeasurable. While we cannot control time itself, we have found ways to manipulate our perception of it. Time is a tricky fellow, isn't it? In the realm of physics, our comprehension of time is tested with the concept of time dilation, where time seems to stretch and contract due to the effects of gravity and velocity. Ever noticed how time seems to slow down when you're in a dangerous situation? Or how it seems to fly when you're engrossed in a task? Our minds, in their own way, are masters of time manipulation, adjusting the perception of its flow according to our emotional state. We've also tailored time to our societal needs. We've created time zones to ensure synchronicity across vast geographical areas, and daylight saving time to maximize our use of daylight.